Okay, hello, my name is Commissar Hecht, and welcome. Welcome to another edition of painting. I know I did say it was going to be Total War tonight, but I decided to, instead of doing Total War, to do Warhammer to paint, because I really do need to get um, this guard revamp done, and then uh, um, move on to the gifts. That needs to happen. That actually really does need to happen. Uh, so we're doing that. That's what we're doing. And then, oh, so we're doing that. And then once we're done doing this, then we'll start moving to actual like going away gifts and different models. I know everyone's enjoyed the Warhammer painting series, but I've got other models that do need to be built, and those are the going away gifts. So let's quickly review them real quick, um, because I want my loyal followers, to know that I haven't forgotten them. So let's just reach over here. It's in this bag, and we'll switch to the Commissar's camera. So, uh, one of my followers, Miss Crown, who's not online right now. I think it's Eliza Crown. Yeah, Eliza Crown. She's not online right now, but she wanted the Chimera, Warriors of Chaos Chimera. So I'm actually looking forward to building that. But then we do have Imperial Guard. Don't worry. We have the Bulgrins, and we're going to be building Nork Deadog. This guy, and then two of his buddies for Johnny Zed. And then we've got the Skorpek Destroyer, the Hexmark, sorry, not Skorpek, the Hexmark Destroyer, the Galactopus for Lexi, otherwise known as Ominous Baked Artist, something like that. And then Quackamo, we have the Solitaire. And then for Issa, we have the Daughters of Cain High Gladiatrix. And then that's it. That's all we got. Hexmart! Yeah! Your Galactopus! Hi! Hi, Lexi. It's been a while. Yes, I am trying to get the stuff done. That's what I'm trying to get done. It has been a while, Lexi. How are you been? Oh, let me get into recording. There we go. And hopefully I get this stuff done, and then I can start doing them for Christmas, so that way some of my supporters get them by Christmas, or at least by New Year's. That's the goal. Ominously bake art. Yeah, there we go. That's what I was looking for. That's your handle. But yeah, that's the goal. So, if you're curious, why, if you're curious why I'm doing supporters gifts for my supporters, is that a lot of them have been around for a very, very, very long time. I mean, dear God, a very long time. And they're 100% like dedicated to the channel and whatnot. So this is my way of saying thank you. So if you want to be a part of it, a part of the channel, help build the channel, help give me more supporters and subscribers and all that stuff, and you personally want something made by me, um, uh, You just got to be consistent, a consistent frequent flyer mile of the channel and all that stuff. And then of course, not to mention, I have now that we're actually talking about it, I have a bunch of combat patrols just sitting back there. I got the Hatchet Combat Patrol subscription. So there might be a combat patrol in it for someone. Oh, sorry. I'm a thirsty boy. Oh, I gotta go get my tea. I'll be right back. It's the score. There's this. I My friend recommended me this YouTube channel, and they have these really good shanties. Hold on, let me make sure I message or I get the YouTube channel right. Hold on, hold on. It's called Imperial Guard Songs. If you just type that in, Imperial Guard Songs, all one word. It's fantastic. Just amazing. Uh, the only downside is I think that he does use AI for some of the songs. I mean, it says it in some of the some of the video descriptions, but it's really good. It's really good, and it has no right. And so this one song, called "An Edition of Loss," a Legends tribute, is absolutely fantastic. Um, I'm gonna sing it because it's so damn good, and it really is heartfelt. I can't play it because I'm pretty sure it's copyrighted, or maybe it's not necessarily copyrighted, but I don't want to get a copyright strike and mute the rest of the thing, so I will sing it personally. Well, I wanna be on the army sheet when the list goes off to war. And I wanna be a ability when the codex hits the stores. They were dropped and I got the chop and they kicked me out the door. And I said me the legend seat and I will seen more. Rachel Esk and the Rattling Chefs, there were two legends born. And the Chan's old iron hands and Harker were shall mourn. And us the Macarius and the mighty Melchador shaped him off to legends and made way for the Rogel Dorn. There's bound for the race surrounds, and hear the earthshakers roar. The nitro drill of a treach and drill, and the Toro's Venator. They fears with the engineers, then nerf them to the floor. There's no fears for the grenadiers, the pride of the whole death corps. I wanna be in the army sheet when the first goes off to war. And I want a good ability when the codex hits the store. The update dropped and I got the chop and they kicked me out the door. Now when you settle me with a legend sheet, I won't be they no more. Try to prove my worth on the back of a Bolt Centaur. Of every mortar team lending indirect support. I'd really rain wind in the day if I had a Praetor. They've all off to legends and they no eagle no more. I wanna be in the army sheet when they once goes off to war. And I wanna be good ability when it was at the store. But the update dropped and I got the chop and they picked me out the door. And they settle me with a legend sheet. I won't be seen no more. What's the day when tournaments play? My spirits soar. My southern dust with the dominus, and there's nothing left in store. Well, I wanna be the army sheet. The list goes off to war. All I'll be is a memory on the shelf forevermore. It's it's such it's such a good song, and it's so heartrending. And that's what's wild about it. It's such a good song. It has no right to be a banger and heartfelt at the same time. It has no reason to be a banger that well. I oh oh my heart. Oh, it's such a good it's just such a good song. It's such a good song. Go check them out, Imperial Guard Songs. Let me link their video or their channel. Uh, because they're really they're good. And again, I'm kind of upset that they say they use some AI, but I don't know if they use it for the chorus or whatnot. But they say that humans do review the scripts, so you know, good and bad all around. But still, it's such a good song. It really is. Check it out. See what you make of it. It really is good. Anyway, Lexi, how are you? I hope you are still well. I hope your sojourn to California has is about to happen or is going to happen. Um, and I hope that you get there safely. All right. Okay. What was I gonna do? Oh, I was gonna paint. That's right. I went on a tangent on a good song. Yeah, hit. I could run. It's on the run. Flamers auto hit. I'm in Friends in VR chat. I'm telling him about your stream as well. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I would love to just chat with you for a little bit if you're available. But if you're hanging out with your buddies and all that stuff in VR chat, that's totally fine too. Much love to you, Lexi. Much love. Much love. Love all around. The way I love you, and I do. The way I love you, and I do. That's an old Chronic Pleasure lyrics right there. For those of you that don't know, Chronic Pleasure is a kind of an indie band uh, made by my step uncle. Um, there's a few songs on iTunes, but a lot of his stuff was super underground. But he was pretty funny. He was a pretty funny singer. Uh, uh, but yeah, one of the songs was "The Way I Love You," and it takes it like to a it's a lampoon of like how quickly someone can just can just go to the extreme when they're trying to think of ways of professing love or sharing love as for somebody. And I love all of my supporters. I really do. Each person that's a part of the channel really really makes me feel like I'm actually doing well. We need a chat, and I'll plan a day where I'm not so distracted. No, it's all right. It's okay. It's all right. Have fun with your friends. Enjoy it. I just say, like, I enjoy your company, and I enjoy everyone who jumps on and does stuff. So, and I still got to figure out how the hell the YouTube chat needs to pop up. But eh. Oh well. All right. Oh hit. One Flamers auto hit. Hello. I'm doing well. I'm doing well, Johnny. If you hadn't had a chance to check out that link that I sent, oh my God! Let me tell you, dropping by to say, hey, the Emperor protects. Thank you very much. The Emperor does protect. May the golden. No. Either my sound is too low or you're muted. No, I am not muted. No, no. Uh, testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. Oh no. Okay. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. I thought I muted myself again because I literally sang a really good song. Like it was really good. Anyways, Seven, thank you very much for dropping by and saying that the Emperor protects. Have a good stream, and may the light of the Emperor keep you as well. Blessings upon you, child of the Golden Throne. All right, but yeah, if you didn't check out um, the song I put in the Discord in the guards chat in the guardsman Vox log, edition of Lost, a Legends tribute, it has no reason to go as hard as it does. No reason. No reason whatsoever. Just none. It has none. It has zero reason to be as heartfelt as it was. Sorry for the false alarm. No, you're fine. You're fine. It has no reason to go as hard as it does. And all of the songs that he made are bangers. Bangers. So, look for Flamer's auto hit. Home. I feel so alone. Flamer's auto hit. He's cured the flank. Oh, he's a bit as a fragging spanked. There's auto hit. Reaches so down without doubt. Try to figure it out. Flamer's auto hit. Oh, I've seen, down Jack's even a bit obscene. She said, conscious me. Flamer's auto hit. Dice. Drum of nice. For running the spice. Flamer's auto hit. That's my fate. Gems burning in the street. Nice basically is a treat. Flamer's auto hit. Open night and face. Urchin straight into a fray. Chin sip, turn and spray. Flamer's auto hit. Every shot I could be it. Resubmit. Needles make me wanna spit. Flamer's auto hit. The shapes are the Jupiter and the best of way that it can win. Hounds swimming at their fin. Flamer's auto hit. For those of For those of you that don't know, Flamer's Auto Hit, the particular song that I just sang, again from the same YouTube channel, that is a riff off of Napalm Sticks to uh uh and it's a Vietnam War cadence, and yeah, it's kind of funny in a very dark sense of humor. Um but yeah, if you don't know what I, I wouldn't, if you're not really looking for that kind of dark kind of humor right now, I wouldn't suggest looking at the Vietnam cadence Napalm Sticks to um uh yeah, but it is part of, unfortunately, American military history. And the fact that Flamer's Auto hit, uh that's an interesting spin on it, and I don't feel as bad. I actually, there was a guy that was like, "Oh, we should sing some of the old ones." I'm like, "No, we do not sing the old cadences. We do not sing the old cadences because they were bad. Some of them were really bad. Thankfully, we have evolved slightly as a military service." Toes up and anything speed. Night. Valkyrie. Oh God, Napalm. Yeah, that song is so wrong. And yet, well, so the full name is Napalm Sticks to Kilo India Delta Sierra. That's the that's the full name, right? If you know your phonetics, you know. Uh, it. I do not know who created the cadence, but it was during the Vietnam War. That is all I do know. Some people argue that it was the Marines. Other people argue it was the Army. Um, but yeah, it was. It's a little like you would never hear anyone doing that cadence, running, marking time in a Jody cadence like that anymore. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No one would ever sing a Jody like that. Um, but again, this YouTube channel that I discovered through one of my friends, Imperial Guard Songs, they took that particular thing and said and made it Flamer's auto hit. And some of the stanzas I can recognize some of the stanzas in Napalm versus Flamer's auto hit, and mwah, it's really it's good, but it's uh, wanna be on the army sheet when this goes off to war, and I wanna be humilities. Codex hits the stores, but the update drop and they got the chop and they kicked me off the door. Sealed me with a legend sheet, be ain't no more. When the burlesque and the rattling chefs, the legends born, and I kept a chance of iron hand and Harker we shall mourn. They took the Muscle and Macarius and the mighty Malcador, gave them off to legends and made for the Rogel Dorn. Was round for the moose rounds and they hear the shakers roar. There was the hill of a Trojan drill and the Pharaoh's Venator. They faced my fears with the engineers, then nerfed them to the floor. There's no fears for the grenadiers, the pride of the whole death corps. I wanna be in the army sheet when this goes off to war. Wanna be good abilities. The codex hits the store. There's the outfit dropped and they're at the shop and they used me out the door. Serve me with a legend sheet, and I won't be using no more. Right of my worth on the back of a bold centaur. Moved heavy motor team with indirect support. And I the day with a praetor. Holding off to legends, and even no more. Wanna be in the army sheet and the results for war. I wanna be good reality. Rolex hits the store. They're dropped and they got the chop and they kicked me out the door. Consider me with a religion sheet and I won't be seen no more. There's a day when tournaments play, make me my spirit soar. Whenever in dust and darkness, there's nothing left in store. I wanna be on the army sheet. This goes off to war. That's such a that's such a melancholy song, but it's so good. Oh, oh my heart. Oh. I think it's because I played Guard and I remember when they came out with those models and I was like, oh, I want to get them so bad. Honestly, I think that's what I think the biggest issue with Games Workshop and the allure of Games Workshop when they first came out with models, they literally said any model that we come out with will still be legal as long as you run it as counts as. But now that they've instituted it has to be same shape, same size, or on a similar base style, you can't get away with that anymore. And it's just, ugh. And that's why I liked Games Workshop in the beginning, was because unlike in Magic the Gathering or um, really any other card game, like Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh at the time, those were like the big card games. Um, you There was always that turnover with cards. And up until 8th edition of Magic the Gathering, they said, hey, if you have cards, they're still considered legal. They're just not as either powerful or effective, and there was definitely scale creep and all that stuff. But the one thing that drew me to 40K was is that you could literally have a model from the early 1980s during the Rogue Trader days where 40K necessarily wasn't a thing. It was Rogue Trader, Warhammer Rogue Trader, um, and it would still be legal. Hell, you could have Gorka Morka models. You could have Necromunda models. As long as they were similar, um, they were, you know, they were considered good models to use. But then, of course, recently they've phased out all of the firstborn Space Marines. They phased out. I mean, they really did it with Age of Sigmar, where they phased out the Sigmar the Stormcast Eternals, the first generation of them, and then uh, they discontinued a lot of armies in Age of Sigmar, and like Beasts of Chaos have been discontinued. Those guys. So it's kind of a shame, really, that that Games Workshop is now following what a lot of other companies are doing, which is, well, you better get the new model because some of the old ones are going to disappear and we're not going to be able to support them. So I have my gripes about that. Oh God, that hits such home. Risotto hit. Go from the gun. Yeah, on the run. Risotto hit. Yield. The field. Beef revealed. Flamers auto hit. And cried. Feels fried. Flamers auto hit. Flamers auto hit. Flamers auto hit. Fly us in Valkyrie. High, fly high, victory. So I'm working on the arms, as you can see, and the rifles. Hopefully I can get all the green and then I can do all the silver and get that done. And then if I can get the silver done, I can get the small details like the lights and the diodes of the rifles done, and then I can start really moving on to the heads and the hands, and then I can be done. And then I can actually move on to the gifts, because I really want to move on to the gifts and focus on them for the holidays. Because what I really want to do is hopefully send them out by Christmas. I mean, I still got other tanks I have to get done. I've got the Manticore, I've got the Punisher, I have the Demolisher. Like, I've got other shit, other Imperial Guard shit I need to get done. But these, I think, are the last of the infantry that I need to focus on. At least for my 2,000 point list. Because, yeah, I still have the Rogel Dorn that needs to be done. I still have the Lehman Russ Demolisher. Um, and a few others. But, uh, and those I think can wait. Until I can actually get, like, my battle board set up and terrain. I mean, honestly, I gotta do the terrain too. I have so much I need to get done. I have so much I need to get done. But I really want to work on the gifts because after that, it's full steam ahead. Fly high to victory. Sounds like a good plan. I know. I hope it's a good plan. currently working on masking the last bits of that Thanatar I'm working on so I can get them primed before we have snow. We got a weather warning about it this morning. Ugh, yeah, that's the one thing I am kind of glad about living in California. I mean, not in the summertime. The summertime is utter hell. Um, is that the weather is 50-50 when it comes to priming. Like, even in the wintertime, I think it gets up to 55, and that's pretty okay for priming. I think the coldest I've ever primed a model is 40, and that was pushing it. Um, so And the reason why, sorry, I'm just getting distracted by my phone. Uh, the reason why um, models are like primer is very specific about the temperature for painting is because if it doesn't sit right, it gets all cracky and flaky and all that stuff. And it really does think it really does screw up the painting process. And then you run into the issue that I had to run into, where all of these dudes had to take a simple green bath. And for those of you that don't know, simple green is like a quick cleaner for botched paint jobs on models. Strips paint real easy. You don't want to put models in, particularly Games Workshop models, in acetone because it'll melt the plastic. It's too powerful of a paint stripper. Um, when they were metal models, you could do that and it'd be fine. But unfortunately, you can't do that anymore. They're all plastic now. Sorry, I'm just looking at something real quick. All right. Repent. I think I got everything. Okay. I think that's it. Now we can move on to the silver highlights for the rifles. I'm not gonna get another model. I'm not gonna get another model. Got it. I hate the fact that Facebook Marketplace occasionally will have like these gems for 40K and the old world, any sort of Warhammer model. God, there are some gems on there. Oh, it's so annoying. It's so annoying. Because like they're reasonably priced too, and it's an older kit, so you know it's. Oh. And there's some decent. There's some reasonably painted models too. Not all of them are good, but a few of them are. Like that's how I collected most of my armies was from Warhammer Marketplace. Holy crap, that's a lot of Star Wars books. Oh, but they don't got the legends. Man, gross. It's like drawing a mustache on the legends banner. It's like drawing a mustache on the Mona Lisa. God, Facebook Marketplace is such a ugh. It's such it like it's such a temptation. So there's a trick. There's a priming trick I heard about recently. I haven't tried it yet, but it seems to check out. I've done the research. If you put your rattle can in hot, not boiling water for a few minutes, you can still prime. You can still before you do your priming. Uh, of course, you still have to shake the heck out of it. Yeah, I mean that's a that's probably a given. But I'm always worried that like that's why I try and do all my building and painting before the winter months come, even in California, because my concern is that it's gonna it's not gonna the paint's not gonna sit well. I did chainmail for all these. I did. Okay. Let's take a look at this. Oh my lord, there's not much left. Gonna have to dip into my reserve pot of chainmail. Sad. An ending of an era. Shell Boys Hall. Charge and see the shite on ourselves for the holy might. Once more for the Emperor's might. Shake the earth into the night. Sing shall right the foe. Knock them down with already blow. If they load and are tight. Lead them then to the night. Shell boys round. The earth the right wrecks the earth into the night. I think I got my priming under the wire. I started a few snow spikes as they came down. Oh no! Yeah, that's the one thing I don't like about Games Workshop primer, or really any painting primer for that matter, is the fact that they don't do a good cold tolerance. And if you aren't familiar with priming or you're just starting out and you screw it up, it can really dork up a model and set you back. All right. So to swim. Some good news. It's been on cold truth. That's what I'm going through. Never believe my shoes. One told me this life would be lonely. Been away from the old me. Just in these blues. And all I need is a little good news. Good news. Cold truth. Bully in the alleyway. Bully in the alley, help me, Bob. Bully down in Shinbone now. Shinbone alleyway. Bully in the alley. The girl that I spicily. Bully down in Shinbone now. Help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alley, way, bully in the alley. Me, Bob, I'm bully in the alley, bully down a shinbone now. Myself and the savior, way, bully in the alley. And myself and the bully down a shinbone now. Help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alleyway. Bully in the alley. Bully in the alley. Bully down in Shinbo now. Hey, bully in the alley. Bully down in Shinbo now. Me, Bob, I'm bully in the alley. Hey, bully in the alley, help me, Bob. In the alley, bully down Shinbo now. Away, bully in the alley. Oh, down in Shinbo now. Me, Bob, I'm bully. Hey, bully in the alley. I'm bully in the alley, bully down Shinbo now. You see, way, bully in the order, bully down Shinbo now. Me, Bob, I'm bully in the alley, way, bully in the alley. Bob, I'm bully in the alley, bully down in Shinbo now. The rum and the butter, way. The alley, butter, running white and red. Shinbo now. Help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alley. Hey, bully in the alley. Bob, I'm bully in the alley. Bully down in Shinbo now. Bean top. Alright, bully. The alley, bully down Shinbo now. Help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alley. Way, bully in the alley. Bob, I'm bully in the alley. Bully down Shinbo now. Jamie, thank you very much for following. Sorry, I was in the middle of trying to rest my eyes while I'm doing all these fine details. Oh, I still got to do that Aquila. Damn it. Can't miss an Aquila. That would be heresy. That's why I rest my eyes, so I can pick up on that and not think I'm done. What brings you to the channel there, Jamie? If you're still here? Or was it a drive-by follow? a flock. Row me bully boys, row. Long, long way from the drool at the stocks, and it's row me bully boys, row. It's row me bully boys, we're in a hurry boys, we've got a long way to go. And we'll sing and we'll dance and bid farewell to France. It's row me bully boys, row. Whiskey for every man, me bully boys row, and a barrel of rum for the shanty man. Row me bully boys row, and it's row me bully boys, we're in a hurry boys, we've got a long way to go. And we'll sing and we'll dance and bid farewell to France, and it's row me bully boys row. We sail away in the roughest of waters, me bully boys row. And now they return and lock up your daughters. Row me bully boys row. And it's row me bully boys, we're in a hurry boys, we've got a long way to go. And we'll sing and we'll dance and bid farewell to France, and it's row me bully boys row. It's row me bully boys, we're in a hurry boys, we've got a long way to go. And we'll sing and we'll dance and bid farewell to France, and it's row me bully boys row. Trying to rest my eyes so I don't get burnout. Alright. Eye strain is one of the most insidious areas of extended pain session. It is, especially with, like I didn't know I have uh, a astigmatism because of my because like what I wear, um, because of my eyes. I found that out about 6 months ago when I got my prescription renewed. They're like, "Oh yeah, you have a slight astigmatism." I'm like, "Oh, that's why my eyes burn when I do painting." Hold on. All right, I'm gonna clean my glasses because there's a smudge somewhere on them. I'll be right back. Let's see who's around. Just me and Johnny. Okay. All right. Access for the miniatures gate. Okay, that one's done. All right. Next. Might be worth be getting a magnifying setup of some kind, or one of those just freestanding adjustable head mounts that works with your glasses. Probably, I just don't know. Not that I don't think that it'd be worth it. I'm pretty sure it would be. I just don't know like what model would work with my glasses and prescription. I'm going to be a little bit of a degenerate and sing another Irish drinking song. Gather round, ye lads and lasses, set you for a while, referring to the mournful tale about the Emerald Isle. Yes, is right, friends and family gone. This is in another Irish drinking song. Consumption took me brother and me father, drank the packs. Drank the whiskey till he ended up in a box. Rather brother in the troubles went with his demise. His sister has forever closed her smiling Irish eyes. Now everybody's died, so until our tears are dried, and we'll drink and drink and drink and drink, and then we'll drink some more. We'll dance and fight and sing the early morning light, then we'll show up, break up, and then go drinking once again. Ken was killed in Kilkenny, and she died in Clare. Tip Tipperary died out in the Derriere. Shannon drifted into the dam, Shannon back in tune. Ernie run into the urn, and Tom is in the tomb. Loneliness is godliness for the sing. You sipping on the bar of Irish Spring. Really, he was 80, though his bride was just a pup. Drafted on the honeymoon when she got his Irish up. I love I love that. It's it's such a it's such a dark, like if you listen to the lyrics, it's such a dark song, but it's making fun of like the whole Irish drinking song tragedy stuff. Not that some of the stuff that the Irish did suffer from, like the famines and all that stuff, was is a laughing matter, but it is, oh man, like they definitely nailed it. I'll tell you. It's the same thing when people lampoon American country music. There's this one singer who literally mocked American country music by saying, by like flipping the script and basically saying he won a bunch of money, he found a brand new car that he could afford. Uh, all of his friends either came back, or like the girl of his dreams came back into his life. His dead dog returned to life. Like it was pretty funny. It was pretty funny. It was like the reverse of like the, oh, my wife left me with the kids, and yada yada. You know, fairly hilarious lampooning. I'll tell you that much. I do enjoy a good lampooning song. I really do. It's a lot in my mind. A parody or a lampoon is a little bit more clever than just, I mean, songwriting is difficult to begin with, but then you want to add the difficulty of lampooning a particular song. That's amazing. It takes a lot of skill too, because you not only do you have to get the tone correct, but then you got to, obviously do the beat and all that stuff and music theory, and make sure that if you're going to switch to a different key, whether it's a major key or a minor key, whatever the case might be, like that is, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to do a lampoon of a song or a genre for that matter. I am curious now that they've announced the 500 worlds and it's an official announcement. I am curious what the 500 worlds, if it's before or after Space Marine 3, because they've alluded to Space Marine 3 being in publication or in development. Oh. And now with Captain Titus, when I hear Irish Drinking Song, I can't help but think of Dennis Leary's. Dennis Leary is an amazing satirist. He's not a Tom Lair, but he's pretty damn close. I don't think anyone can ever meet or beat Tom Lair as a musical satirist and a political satirist. There is nobody that could match his style. But Dennis Leary was pretty close. Pretty close. I think if Dennis Leary had more of George Carlin's delivery when it comes to his comedy, I think he could have been a really good satirist, musical satirist. Um, Traditional Irish for similar reasons. Yeah, 100%, 100%. Though that's pretty dark. Oh, well, this one that I was singing, this particular song I was singing is called Another Irish Drinking Song, and it's from the band Brontosaurus, and the album is called Da Vinci's Notebook. So look that up later. There's a particular stanza which I think is hilarious. Um, and it's basically going through like all the people that have basically copped it, and there's there's this particular stanza. I'll sing it. Um, you know, McNamara crossed the street or was crossing the street and by a bus, although I've heard the opposite, by a truck was hit, but he was just a Scotsman, so nobody gave a shit. Um, or, but he was just a Scotsman, so nobody gave, a fuck. Um, but yeah, it was it's sad but funny at the same time because this particular song, they don't finish the curse word. They go, McNamara uh, by a bus was hit. Uh, Tried to cross the street, but by a bus was hit. But he was just a Scotsman, so nobody gave a ah. It's you can't obviously I'm doing a bad job um, describing it, but it was pretty funny the first time I heard it. I was in tears. I was in absolute tears. Although the one by a truck was hit. That one was pretty funny too. I prefer that one a little bit more, but both were funny. Ah, shit. Well, I can just paint over that diode. Uh, well, it's after. Oh yeah, we were talking about the 500 worlds. So okay, this is my thing, right? We were talking about the 500 worlds. All right. So here is my theory. I'm gonna do it now. Uh, Obviously, if Captain Titus got elevated, or if Titus got elevated back to captain of the second company, Leandros is either a dreadnought, got elevated to the first company, or very much is dead. Very much is dead. But so what I was gonna say. Okay, so the 500 worlds, right? I think the 500 worlds are going to involve. Obviously, they're going to involve the Necrons and bringing another Catan together. It could be the Nightbringer because we haven't seen a Nightbringer model, or at least I don't think there's a night. I don't think the Nightbringer model is revamped. Hold on, let me take a look. While I'm resting my eyes real quick, I don't think the Nightbringer model's been revamped. Necrons. Because they have the Tesseract. Yeah, and the Transcendent. They have the Obelisk and the Transcendent Catan. And they have the Tesseract Vault. Yeah, all they have is the Deceiver and the Nightbringer, which is a shard of the Catan. Um, so my guess is that they're gonna revamp the Nightbringer and maybe the Deceiver and make it more up to, obviously, um, the actual shard of the Catan or Catan. Because the Void Dragon one, that one's definitely up to date. So I don't know. I don't know. I would think that they would up to date it. Both of those old metal models. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that's gonna happen. But I also think that they're gonna, as much as it does involve the pariah, potentially the pariah nexus and all that stuff, and the Catan and the Necrons and all that stuff, I would hope that they add in the wrapping up of the Plague War and pushing out the remnants of Leviathan. I hope that they add those in, because really the 500 Worlds has been getting their asses handed to them by the Death Guard, by the Necrons in the Pariah Nexus stuff, and by Leviathan. And I would love to see, obviously, more Xeno models, just because, there's been so much anger about the new Space Marine stuff. Although I do like Captain Titus's, what's it called? New model and new retinue. I do like that. It's very nice. It's very well done. The Ultramar Auxilia, the PDF, the Planetary Defense Force that we're seeing from that box set is very nice. I like that. But yeah, I'm pretty sure if Titus is now a captain, Leandros is either a dreadnought, or he has elevated himself up to the first company as a captain, or he is very much dead. Those are the three options that we've got for Leandros. Or not Leandros. I'm thinking the I am thinking Leandros from the first game and the second game, who's constantly up Titus's ass. Not Leandros, the other captain. No, they shown a new Nightbringer model. Okay, good. I'll post it in Discord. Okay, all right, good. See, that's what I thought. I thought that they would update it. Now the only thing they need to update is the Deceiver. And then that's it. Then they have all the new what's it called, models. All the Catan shards have new models. I knew they were going to update at least one of them. It wouldn't make sense to keep the old metal models if the new one is just as is better. If the Void Dragon is just as is better and more detailed. Oh yeah. Oh, that's metal as fuck. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's totally metal. Oh yeah, that's metal as all get out. Oh man, why am I tired? I cannot be tired. I am trying to paint silver on everything. Oh yeah, yeah, you're done. You're done. Oosh. Oh no. Oh man, I cannot be this tired. I need to at least finish the silver. Let me do that before I go to bed. All right, I'm gonna go get some water. I'll be right back. Forget how old I get sometimes. I've been snap crackle popping like a frickin' Rice Krispies treat every single time I get up out of the chair. Oh, toes are cracking, knees are cracking, back snaps a little bit, neck stiff. I sound like a glow stick. I know age is just a number, but Jesus Christ, I wish my body didn't have a soundtrack of a of a percussion section.
part of a brass band. It should be that one just left, right? Yeah. Okay. I think that's it for this one. It is. All right, cool. So 2 down, 2 to go. Hello, fellow Dad Gamer. Hello, Band of Goblins. Thank you for joining. Grenadiers, the pride of the whole Death Corps. How are we doing, Band of Goblins? It's a score. They dropped and they got the shock and they sing out the door. Instead of me with a ribbon sheet, beeping no more. I prove my worth, my box of a broad centaur. Our fighting mortar team with our extra fort. In the day we've had a praetor. No legends and no more. Looking sleepy, looking for a place to wind down. Well, you are more than welcome to just enjoy the vibes and watch me paint. I sing badly though. What am I working on? I'm working on Imperial Guardsmen. Look like this. So I'm working on these guys. I'm working on their arms and legs. Or sorry, arms and guns. What regiment of guardsmen do you like? I got hit with some ads. Hey, Quackamo. So sorry if I missed out anything. No, like I said, I was working on I'm working on arms and guns right now. I'm doing the silver bits for them. Because I already did the olive drab. So when I started playing in around 2003 ish, um, I made my own regiment in the Guard Codex uh, in third edition, and I made them the Terrans. Uh, so they're all Terran born, whether they're pilgrims or part of the actual like from Terra, either nobility or just like fourth or fifth or sixth or seventh or eighth or ninth or 10th generation Terran, that kind of stuff. Um, but I'm running them like the Death Corps of Krieg because the Cadian sergeants no longer can take power swords and the Cadian sergeants, hold on, can no longer take power swords and plasma pistols, and I like that. An old timer like me, yeah, well. So I'm using the counts as Krieg for the rules, but they're Terrans. So they get all the cool kit. The Fensiger. I approve of the homebrew lore. Well, so, I mean, here's the thing every Imperial planet has to pay the tithe, there's no exception, right? And so you either pay the tithe in uh, raw goods, finished goods, or people. That's it. And in the Vaults of Terra series, it was always said that Terra was like this giant animal that constantly uh, ate up raw goods and materials and then finished goods and products and all that stuff. And the only thing Terra could ever offer is the uh, quadrillion people, or the quintillion. I think they're in the quintillions. The quintillion amount of people that live on Terra. And so it only makes sense that Terra's like the office of the Adeptus Administratum and the Departamento Administratum, or sorry, the Departamento Minatorum, both of those, the Adeptus Ministratum and the Departamento Minatorum, basically grab random Terrans off the street, and then the officers of the Senate Majoris and the Senate Majoris and the House Minoris, right? The nobility basically give up their sons and daughters to advance their own political machinations as officers. So, hey, you want to make it to the Imperial Palace? Serve in the guard, and your children's might get to see the Imperial Palace one day. Yeah, Terra sounds like a horrible place unless in the lore, unless you're a wealthy aristocrat. Well, where was it? The Vaults of Terra series by Chris Wright, like really does a deep dive into Terra. Um, and it's during the when the Eye of Terror and the Cicatrix Maledictum form after Cadia blows up. So I firmly recommend that book. Ah, so is it a D&D reference? Your name, Band of Goblins? I'm struggling because I'm tired, but I'm just trying to get these painting jobs done so I can actually start your guys' gifts. Just a nickname I got from a buddy since he was a troll. Oh, okay. Rare to see someone painting on sprue. Well, I this is just a habit I had for a very long time, ever since I got started with the hobby. It helps me manipulate the model, and I don't have to worry about getting paint too much on my fingers, and it gives me a little bit of control with the fine detail. Now, there's some stuff I do paint off sprue, which is like the torso and the legs. I'll put those together, but arms, heads, and weapons I'll paint on the sprue if I can. Whatever works for you, I can't judge it. No, no, no. I'm just letting. I'm just explaining my why I paint on the sprue. I can see the benefits. Yeah, Do I paint or play other armies? Well, hold on. So, do I paint or play with other armies? The sorry, just trying to stretch. Ever since I started my YouTube channel, I have um, an orc army that desperately needs to be revamped. My wife collected Dark Angels when we were playing in England back in like sixth or seventh edition. Um, no, actually, I think it might have been sixth. Yeah, it was sixth edition. And then um, the trying to think of what else. I have old metal model sisters and new plastic sisters. I've got plenty of Tyrannid. I've got plenty of um, Guard because that's my primary army. Plenty of Space Marines. Chaos. I've got some. I've got plenty of Chaos, and I have some Dark Eldar. So those are the armies I've collected. I've got more. It's all like mix match stuff, but I don't think it would physically be qualified as an army. So, but the armies that do need to be desperately revamped are my sisters, my Dark Eldar, and my orcs. Those are the three that need to desperately be revamped. So they are sitting and waiting patiently while I fix my guard and update them because those were the oldest, minus the metal model sisters. Um, because the Dark Eldar were new, the Dark Angels were new, and again that's my wife's army. The orcs and all that stuff, yeah. So yeah, gonna call it a night. Expect to sun tomorrow. I'm gonna try and be up and out early-ish. Got groceries to do. Yeah, man. Appreciate you just hanging around and chilling with me. Thank you very much. Ooh, power. What's power do? My work employer inductee. I like that. Have a good night, my fellow Mechanicum enjoyer. Okay, we're gonna have to clean that up. Yeah, we'll have to clean that up. I meant my Ira. Oh, your Ira. Oh, derp. Yeah, I'm getting tired and I misread that too. I misread all that. Yeah, I totally misread that too. Trying to get this stuff done so that way I can get some sleep. Check, check. Need to do that. Need to do that. I need to do that. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Fuck. Oh, I do have actually Adeptus Mechanicus. Arizona Tree makes some energy drinks. The mango one is tastes pretty good. Yeah, I don't want to like power slam an energy drink right now because I do just want to finish this and then sign off. If I do a energy drink, I'm gonna be super fucking jittery. I pen Admech Knights, Space Marines, all my Sun stuff, and my Eldar. Oh, sorry, you've painted Admech Knights, Space Marines, all my Sun stuff. So basically, that's what he's collected, and then your Eldar. Gotcha, gotcha. That makes more sense. But yeah, I collected a hell of a lot more armies ever since I started my YouTube channel. And I was trying to rotate armies to do more battle reports. But right now, that's on the back burner until I can actually get a gaming table. Because I've got the gaming table from Games Workshop, with that the plastic table that you can set up for terrain and all that stuff. But I actually need like a table in order to put it on. So I gotta. Oh shit! Any plans doing a Harlequin or Dark Army? Dark Eldar Army. Well, I do have Dark Eldar, so doing the Reaper's Wager is not necessarily a deep enough jump. Um, but again, I'd have to because I bought the army offline or sorry online, and it's pre-painted. But I got to figure out the recipe of each of the models and then do it that way. But me personally, I'm not gonna be doing Reaper's Wager or Dark. I'm just gonna just do straight Dark Eldar. It makes it easier. Plus, those bastards are never in stock anyway. So that's why I'm hyped to have him start my solitary. Yes, yes. As I said at the beginning of the stream, if people support me on a regular basis, at one point, I will start. I will paint and build uh, a model of your choosing within reason, and they will, and then I'll ship it to you. as a way of me saying thanks. Oh, shit. I'm still working on getting 10 of my. Oh, hi, Chicken McNugget. How much do we gotta do? Uh, how much do we gotta support for that? Well, obviously be a frequent flyer, right? You know, getting uh being active in the chat, um, following me on uh following me on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. That definitely helps. Being a member of the Discord, that definitely helps. And then just obviously putting in your time. Because if you don't put in your time, uh, or if you just are like, so the thing is that what I don't want to end up doing is having a bunch of people support, quote unquote, support me, and then just hi bye, and then that's it. That is never the goal. Um, I want people that are um, I want people that are actually like involved in the community. But Chicken McNugget, you're involved. I mean, again, following me on Instagram, following me on Twitter, following me on Facebook, following me, you know, like doing all the socials. That's perfectly fine. But it's also like in the Discord, in the chat, talking to me, making watching my content, all that stuff. That stuff is perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. Um, it's just and then after a few months or so, you'd be eligible to get what you want. Um, do I have a link for my YouTube and Discord? Yes, it's actually in the. If you are looking at the Twitch page and you go to my channel, if you're in my channel and you look at the Twitch page, let me just, and you go to the about, you have the Twitter, you have the YouTube, you have the Facebook, and then you have the Discord. I have not linked the Instagram yet, maybe because it won't allow me to. Um, but yeah, that's what I'm working on. And obviously, if you support, obviously the donations, like if you donate to the refugee mission, if you do if you donate through subs and bits and all that stuff, like that's things. Also, question: how do we donate? Okay, well, there's subs and bits. I don't prefer. I don't prefer that. You can do that. That's perfectly fine. But I don't prefer it. The Twitch. Hold on. Let me get to the Tiltify link. Bam. There is the Tiltify link. If you are watching through YouTube, it is on. It is under the description of the YouTube uh, stuff. If not, no, it will always be in the description of the YouTube videos, right? Um, Now, obviously, I've got a goal in mind, and that goal is to get monetized. Um, because if I get monetized, then I can use the ad revenue to generate donations that way. Um, So that's kind of the goal there. But the um, primary way is donating through Tiltify, and as far as I know, Tiltify does not do third party, and they do not take um, unauthorized cuts of all donations, right? Uh, and that's the long and short of it. It's actually a really good system. Do they accept PayPal? Through the refugee aid? Yes. Um. Oh, there's an ad. God damn it. Hold on. I gotta wait for the ad to finish. I'll check out YouTube in the morning. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, obviously, if you're tired, I'm not gonna force you to stay up and watch me. Like that's I'm not one of them, and I'm certainly not one of them. Okay, let me test it real quick. And I'm certainly not one of them that's like, oh, you're watching me and you're not donating. Like, no, 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 no. Donate what you can when you can. That's all. That's all I ask. If you do not have the means, do not donate. You watching is more than enough. You being active is more than enough. Hell, the whole reason why I have ad revenue on Twitch is because I'm on the affiliate program. Found my Nort Degog after 4 years of him missing. Guess I can finally make the meme list. By the way, Power, there's no PayPal method. Okay, hold on. I thought there was. Tiltify. Donate now. Address. Payment details. Oh, I gotta actually do the. Oh well, if you can't do it, don't do it. Like that's I'm dead serious. Okay. Hold on. There we go. By the way, Power, I do enjoy the salamanders. Did you put the salamander pauldrons on, the ones I got you for a gift? Okay, check. One, two, three, four, five, six. Did I get them all? I think I got it all. Nope, lost pistol. Son of a bitch. Oh, I gotta do the sites on that. Man, stop discouraging me from wanting to do a donation. I'm not discouraging. I am saying if people do not have the means to donate, I would rather you be in a place. I want to donate. I have credit in my PayPal, but I want to put it to a good cause. I understand. So hear me out. I appreciate that people want to donate. I really do. But if you do not have the means to donate, I would rather you put that means to getting you into a better place, to be successful, to make sure that you are comfortable. And then when you are actually in a place to be able to do giving, um, then donate, right? I have the means. What do you mean? It doesn't. Not yet. Those are saving those for a special unit. I think breachers when they announce the plastic line or maybe an HQ slot. Oh, okay, all right, all right. I was just curious if you had used those shoulder pauldrons that I gave you. Um, no, no, no. I'm not just talking about you, Chick McNugget. I'm saying anybody. Right? This. It was a blanket statement. Sorry. I was not assuming you didn't have means. I'm saying anybody. I don't want people putting themselves out if just because they feel pressured to donate, if that makes any sense. Whether it's bits, whether it's subscribers, whether it's on Twitch, or whether it's the direct donations to the link. Um, that's what I'm saying. I'm sorry. I felt if you feel like I was attacking you, I do apologize. That wasn't my goal. Okay, so I do apologize. Um, uh, it my big concern is that people would feel like forced. No, no attack. Okay, all right. And I don't want to create that kind of obligation. I want it to be you're just trying to protect your followers. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's what I'm trying to do. Like, unfortunately, a lot of streamers are super. How do I do this? A lot of the more popular streamers, not all of them, but there's like a handful I can think of that are super predatory when it comes to like, oh, you should donate to this. You should, if you want to be really cool, really fucking cool, you should donate to me. I like, oh, let's get this hype train going. I don't like that. I really don't like that. It makes me feel gross. Um, because what they're doing is they're playing on the vulnerabilities of um, their viewers. They're playing on FOMO. Um, they're playing on the psychology of their viewers to help breed success. Thank you for your service, one vet to another. Oh well, I'm still active. I got 17 years, about to be 17 years in. But thank you. Where'd you serve? But yeah, that's all right. U.S. Air Force structural maintenance, aircraft structural maintenance. All right, we got another Air Force guy in the mix. I am security forces, so yeah, I know the structures, guys. Yeah, we got another Air Force folk in the mix. Yeah, good. I know you're not the competitive type, but have you dabble? If you want to dabble, you should consider doing the U.S. Army esports team, at least in my local area. So if if I wanted to do esports, it would have to be a game that it'd have to be a game that I don't particularly like playing. Call of Duty. Um, I think for the U.S. Air Force gaming team, it's Call of Duty. Um, I can't remember which one. Battlefield. I can't remember which one. And then a couple of sports games and a couple of racing games. Um, so the U.S. Army esports team is primarily made out of Army folks. All right, the Air Force Gaming esports team is made specifically for Air Force folks. But you have to have one, you have to have a representative. Two, you actually have to set up the team. Three, you have to get it funded through, I think it's FSS. And then four, um, you gotta establish bylaws that are in line with the Air Force team. And if you don't do any of that, it will not be successful. When I left in 2018, after 10 years, I told my boss I was trying to stay in. I was staying. If I tried to make tech, they weren't happy. Well, um, tech sergeant was a hard rank for me to get, right? And now I'm trying to get master sergeant, and that's damn near impossible. So, yeah, if you pulled the chute after 10, I'm not gonna poo-poo you over that. Interesting. I didn't know there was that many hoops. Yeah. So any sort of outside of mission requirements, particularly uh, like what a lot of people would consider extracurricular, or not extracurricular, but like outside intramural style sporting for the for the services. There's a lot of legal um, challenges that you have to do, because the first thing is that you could set up an esports team in your basement in the Air Force and follow the bylaws and guidances and all that stuff. But because it's a Department of Air Force program, you're not funded the same way for TDYs and all that stuff like you would be for other sports. Um, it's a lot more complicated because when you talk about like going to, let's say you want to go to Fort Irwin, which is like 2.5 hours down the street from where I'm at, to play against the Army esports team. That's a TDY. You have to have the money funded so that you can take either a car or whatever, and then get the hotel room for however many people are playing in this esports event, pay for food, pay for gas while you're there, driving back and forth to the esports event, um, and then like doing the job, right? Um, Now you can have some private organizations sponsor, like USAA and all that stuff, but realistically, um, unless you happen to be really good at your game at the circuits and good at your job, so that way you can go off to these TDYs and all that stuff because the mission never stops. Um, yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot to set up an esports gaming team. I had a friend of mine do that. His name is Sergeant Murphy, or sorry, Sergeant Murray. Murphy was one of the players. Sergeant Murray, and there were times where he was like, "Man, this is so stressful," and he would vent to me about it. So yeah, he would vent to me about it, and it's a lot of hard work. You just can't say, "Oh, we'll start an esports team," particularly in the military. It's got to benefit the military somehow. Whether and most esports teams are supposed to be doing it to drive up recruiting numbers and all that stuff. Um, so if it's not benefiting, it's the individual departments for those people. Big Air Force or Big Army or whoever is not going to be jumping up to pay for it all. Especially if it does nothing to increase, recruitment drives and all that stuff. Yeah, there's a lot to be had. And okay, that's what I thought it said. Sorry, my phone sent a message. I thought it was in symbols, but it was saying it was a percentage for a operating system update, or it wanted to do an operating system update, which I will let it do it after the stream. Not going to do it right now. Your actual phone this time? No, I didn't. I didn't hit the pin. I was looking at whatever the message was. Other than streamer stuff and nerve hobbies, we all know that we know the commissar dabbles in. What other hobbies do you have? Well, like I said, I've been starting up cooking. Kind of been enjoying that, like experimentation. Um, Reading. I do enjoy reading. Um, Although I haven't really read anything in a hot minute because, being a dad is a full time job. Um, I do enjoy running. That used to be I used to be able to do that often and frequently. Now it's only when I work out. Um, Trying to think of what else. I love traveling. I love learning about history, especially if I go to a museum. Oh man, I eat up museums. Oh, I love going to museums. That's so nice. Particularly museums that have a large catalog of history. Oh my lord. Large catalogs of history? Yes, please. I do enjoy art. Hell, I wouldn't be painting models if I didn't enjoy it. But art is subjective. Yes and no. Art can be subjective, but I think most people who have an eye for art can agree on like a universal standard. Um, Now, whether or not that universal standard is upheld or is considered correct or whatever the case might be, obviously I don't know. Um, but art isn't truly subjective. So the whole banana taped on the wall or quote unquote modern art argument, where you've got the person that's like rubbing their body full of clay or jumping up and down on a mat and drawing like random squiggles. Like that stuff, that's not, in my opinion, that does not, in my opinion, qualify as art in the sense of an actual artist trying to convey a meaning, right? Um, because a lot of the stuff that people are seeing, that shit's performative. And while performative art is art, if you are trying to pass it off as art, as in an art gallery, then I refuse to accept it. It's performative art. It is interpretive dance. That stuff does not belong in an art gallery. Um, yeah, sorry. There's it's the stitching. It's bothering my armpit. I'm itchy. My skin's dry. And this is a newer shirt. I haven't gotten used to it. Sometimes when I buy new shirts, the seams bother my skin. Take off the shirt. Absolutely not. I don't want to get banned. Are you kidding me? Actually, I think a streamer did get banned for taking off their shirt, if I remember correctly. I think it was a guy streamer too. God, who was it? I can't remember, but it was one of the big ones. Think it might have been PewDiePie. Damn, it must have had some good picks. Um, I think it might have been PewDiePie that got banned, and they said it was they said it violated terms of service for like lewdness, something to that extent. I can't remember. It's gonna bother me. It'll come to me in the middle of the night when I am trying to sleep. I'll be like, that guy! think we're about to end it here just because I am getting exhausted and I'm making some small mistakes, tiny mistakes. But that's okay. Mistakes happen. I can always clean up. It is just paint after all. Bedtime for the Commissar? Almost. Almost. I mean, it is almost 2 o'clock here. And I did start late, but the goal was to finish the uniforms and the silver bits. So, come hell or high water, that's what I'm doing. Cheese Sparrin. Hello, I'm new to Warhammer. Well, hello. I'm glad you're new to Warhammer. You got questions to ask? Ah, paint chip. Is it not the process to cut them out before you paint them? So I have a very weird, not a weird. A lot of people think it's weird. I think it's great because it gives me control and all that stuff. I used to do fully paint and assemble, or fully paint on the sprue before assembly. Then, roughly 2016, no, 2013, 2012, I modified my painting idea to where I half assemble and then I paint the rest on the sprue. Um, I feel it gives me better control. I feel it gives me better uh, uh, a better chance for detail on the model. I feel that it saves me some time when it comes to the final assembly piece. Um, and I feel like I'm not missing the finer points of detail if I do it this way. Okay, well, I'll have to clean that up, but that's okay. Check, check. interesting. I'm thinking of doing Grey Knights, but I'm still yet unsure. Well, why are you unsure? What makes you unsure? With the vast amount of factions, if they are good in general battles. So, you're worried if you're going to get buyer's remorse, which is totally understandable. All right. I did all the silver pieces. Hold on. Before I go into this in depth explanation, I want to make sure I got everything. I did all the silver pieces. Check, 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 check. I did. Okay, did that. Did that. Did that. Did that. That. Just line that up. Just to make sure. Yep. Okay. Cool. So, all right, all the silver and the green is done for the rifles. So now I can actually give my undivided attention to this answer. All right. So, uh, Spartian, you wanted to ask me um, what uh, the kind of you're concerned about getting a faction and then afraid of, and I'll switch cameras actually so I can better explain this real quick. Hold on. There we go. Okay, so your worry is that if you pick a faction, that faction you want it to do well in battle, but you also want to enjoy it. Okay, so and you don't want buyer's remorse, which is totally fine. So this is what I would suggest. Kind of do the D&D method or any sort of role-playing game method, right? You have to look at what interests you first. First and foremost, what interests you about Warhammer? What interests you about um, a certain faction within Warhammer? And then you have to be very self critical about this and say, is this something that I am willing to sink vast amounts of money into the hobby if I don't either enjoy a certain aspect or many aspects of the hobby, right? You got to ask those questions before you can even think about picking an army, right? So, Games Workshop, balancing wise, when it comes to armies, tries to have a 55 to 45 win loss ratio. Um, within and that is for every army. So, in a perfect world, if you were playing another opponent, your army should have a 55% chance of winning versus the enemy's army, which is having 45. But also, in the inverse, because Games Workshop has tried to balance it out for the win loss ratio of any game, they try and give the defender or the attacker the same amount of um, skill for their army. Win loss ratio of 55 to 45. If you win it, great. If not, sucks to suck, right? So Games Workshop has really tried to play that out, to play test that out, and it's worked. I would say, if I'm being honest, depending on the edition, anywhere between 65 to 70% it works. The other percentage, it does not. So that's why that's what factions what's called. Um, that's the percentages that Games Workshop tries to tighten up. Um, but yeah, if you wanted to do a faction, ask yourself, what do I want to get out of the faction? Does it look cool? Am I able to use the faction after this particular, or am I able to, if I'm going to sink a lot of money, be able to access the faction because we're about to switch over to a new edition of Warhammer, and they might make that faction um, uh, irrelevant to the game, right? And if it's well, gotta go have a good stream. Rest well when you do, and thanks for the stream. Okay, well, thank you very much, Chicken McNugget. Um, but yeah, that's basically what I th- I think some of the questions, hypercritical questions that you're gonna ask there, Spartian. I hope that gave you kind of a baseline. If it didn't, I'm sorry. It helps. Good, good, good. I'm glad it helps. I'm glad it helps. Um, Let me try and think of how else. So you wanted. So I'm torn between the Ultramarines, Grey Knights, Space Wolves. What are your thoughts? Well, they're all Space Marines. So that's the first thing, right? So as long as you have a particular army, you're good, right? Because Space Wolves, Ultramarines, and Grey Knights are all Space Marines for the most part. Um, Grey Knights do not have Primaris. Grey Knights are firstborn Space Marines, and Grey Knights have the supposedly fabled gene seed of the Emperor to make them anti-demon, anti-demonic, all that stuff, anti-chaos, all that stuff. Um, and they're also, a lot of them are predisposed to psychic abilities. So if you have an enemy psyker and you're going up against Grey Knights, you're not going to have a good time. Um, but they're all Space Marines except for what they do. So if Rabute Gilliman goes to a house and is told to secure the house, or whatever, right? Or not house. I keep on saying house. If the Ultramarines want to secure something, they do it by the book, basically. Um, if the Grey Knights do it, they're doing it because there's a demonic incursion, and they're best at fighting anti-demons. If the Space Wolves are doing it, uh, they're doing it with kind of up in your face tactics. Just trying to think of like what else to say. Um, Ultramarines, obviously, they have the most amount of stuff available to them because they're considered the jack of all trades, master of none. Space Wolves are, obviously the Space Vikings style. Um, they're they've got some pretty decent rules about close combat, and their heroes are an absolute nightmare to deal with. And then Grey Knights are solid anti-demon units, and then of course they've got their what's it called? their psychic abilities, and then more specialized weapons for them. That's about it. Sorry, I can't like elaborate. My brain's kind of fried, and I'm just trying to like remember all the rules for Grey Knights. I know I'm missing something, so I'm just trying to think of like the differences, other than they're all Space Marines. So what if I want a boots on ground, shoot gun Space Marine faction? So they all are. They all do. They all are boots on ground, shoot guns. Um, the Ultramarines are the most well-rounded. So you can make them shooty. They can make them. They can make them primarily a shooting army. Um, Space Wolves can be a primarily shooting army, but they're more specialized for close combat, and their stratagems allow them to get into close combat um, more frequently. Uh, the Grey Knights are shooty, however, if they get caught up in a demonic incursion, they're not leaving that planet. They're not going to see the Emperor or anything like that. They might pray to the Emperor, but realistically, they're not going to go see the Emperor while they're dealing with a demonic incursion. All that stuff. Um, God, that's. And they're also few and far between. Like I think a Grey Knight is more expensive than a standard Space Marine. Not by much, but I think they are. Yeah, but yeah, they're all boots on ground. Um, but if you want something robust, it would probably be either the Dark Angels with Lionel Johnson or Rabute Gilliman, or not Gilliman, Rogel Dorn, the Imperial Fists. But yeah, sorry I can't give you more information. My brain's kind of fried, and I'm like drifting in and out. Oh my. Whew. Okay. Because when I was younger, I got a Space Marine from Ranagai. It had white shoulders and a black body. Any idea what that faction? It's a Black Templar. There's very few. There's very few Adeptus Astartes chapters that are not black. That have those colors that are not Black Templar. White and black Space Marine. So there's the White Templars, which is white armor with black shoulder pads. There are the White Consuls, which are black with gold and white. Oh, sorry, gold trim and then white insignia. Obviously, there's the White Scars, but I think you got a Black Templar model. Yeah, you got a Black Templar. Um, the Black Templar are a offshoot of the Imperial Fists. Their Primarch is Rogel Dorn, but their main leader is Sigismund. They are considered questing or crusading knights. They do not believe in the warp unless it's specifically for the navigator. And then their job is to get up close with swords, pistols, and all that stuff, flamers, and purge. They can do ranged. There are ranged units, but most of their units are crusading focused slash close combat focused. All right, I am fading fast, guys. Thank you, Spartian, for allowing me to kind of ramble and answer some of your questions. I wish I could do more. But if you like what you see, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, join my Facebook, my YouTube, my Twitch, obviously, my Kick, and then the Discord. You can talk about Warhammer in the Discord. You got to agree to all the rules, though. Um, and then make sure that you all have a lovely day. This will be my last stream for the weekend. Monday, Tuesday, I work. Wednesday, Thursday, I'm off. I will be doing Total War Warhammer 3 for Wednesday. Probably do some more painting. And then Thursday, we'll probably do some more painting throughout the day and all that stuff. But anyway, thank you all for watching. My name is Commissar Hecht. I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye bye.